Hey everybody, welcome to Cara's Cucina, and on this channel we encourage everyday people to live healthier by inspiring them to cook delicious food at home. I'm Cara Di Falco. I'm really excited. We're going to do a real simple recipe today, but we're going to introduce you to a not unique ingredient, but something we haven't worked with here before. We're going to be working with ramps today. So ramps are sometimes also referred to as wild garlic, and here in the Northeast, it is the season for them. I haven't actually seen them at grocery stores yet, but I've been able to get these at my farmer's market, and I want to thank my buddy Dan over at Foraged Feast. That's who gets these for us. He finds them. They grow wild. I think they only grow wild. And of course, you know, like everything else in the food world, there's a little bit of controversy around them as to whether or not they should be gathered with the bulb and the roots at the end, or just cutting the leaves, because the plant itself takes a fair amount of time to grow and mature. So and they've become more popular as of late. So the argument is that some of it should be left so that the plants can develop and reproduce more easily. However, these come with the bulb, so this is kind of what you'll get. Very similar to a wild garlic or a spring onion. It's a little bit dirty at the bottom. Just rinse them real good, and you kind of peel that little layer off. So then we kind of wind up with something like this, and we're going to use the whole plant in our pesto. And pesto's like risotto, it's more a process than the dish itself. So pesto just means pulverized in Italian. So all we're going to do to finish getting these ready, and you can see I've already rinsed them, is we're just going to chop these root ends off, and then I'm just going to roughly kind of break them into pieces. So we use the leaves too, and these are going to go right into our food processor. So we'll get these going in here. And in the meantime, I have my pasta water in my pot, salted. We're gonna let that come to a nice rolling boil. And with our pesto, we're gonna use some pine nuts. So I am just gonna lightly toast those. I've got my little teeny pan here. We're just gonna put this on low. And we'll get these in here, just about a quarter cup. And again, if you can't find pine nuts, or if they're a little cost restrictive for you, walnuts will work here. I've even seen recipes that use cashew or almond. So you have a lot of options in terms of what nut you use. You don't have to use them at all if you don't want to, or if you have an allergy. We'll finish getting these guys prepped and into our food processor. So with our pine nuts, as soon as they start to get that little bit of a golden color to them, and they're almost gonna kind of look sweaty because the oil is coming out of them, that's all we want for these. Just keep a close eye on them because they can burn very quickly once they get going. But that's all we need to kind of get some really good flavor out of these. So from here, we're gonna go right into our food processor with those. And that's really it. We're just gonna put a pinch of salt in there to start with. And we'll get this going. So again, normally, if I was making a basil pesto, or another herb pesto, we would put some garlic cloves in there. But because this has that flavor already, it really doesn't need it. And it's gonna make a really beautiful color to go with it. So just get it chopped up. And then from here, we're just gonna drizzle in our olive oil. Now again, you guys are always asking me how much. It really depends on how you like it. If you want it to be thin and liquidy, add a little more olive oil. If you want it to be more thick and really coat the pasta, add a little less. But I would probably err on the side of a little less, because if you want to stretch it out, you can also always add in some of the pasta water as well. So we're just gonna take our spatula, scrape down our sides, get those big pieces back in there. It smells amazing already. And you can see it's got that really pretty color. Okay. One more round. Okay, this looks good. Our pesto's ready. We're just gonna get our water to a boil and cook up some pasta. To serve our pesto, I've just got it over some low heat in a nice wide pan. My water's boiling, so we're gonna add in our pasta. Little fresh pasta from my buddies over at Mike's Shop in Nutley. Everybody needs help from their friends once in a while. You can serve this with fresh pasta or with dried pasta, either way. And the shape, again, with pestos, they're really forgiving and they go with a lot of different shapes. But I'm just using a linguine today. Okay, as soon as our pasta's ready, we're just gonna transfer it right to our pan with our pesto. Can't leave pasta behind. And we want some of that water to go in there with it too. It smells so good. I'm gonna add a little water. Get this all nice and tossed. And of course, if you've been hanging out in the Cucina for a little while, you guys know by now, we're gonna finish this up with a little butter and some cheese. This is still on low heat, so we're just gonna let that all kind of melt in, come together. And we'll plate it up. Serve your ramp pesto over pasta with an extra sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. I don't think this one even needs pepper personally, but of course, as always, you do you, taste your food, see what you'd like, see what it needs. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I hope you try to give this spring vegetable a chance in your kitchen if you can find it, and I'll try to hook you guys up with the guy who I get mine from in the description below. As always, the recipe is available at caradifalco.com. You can follow me, Facebook and Instagram at Cara Di Falco. I will see you guys next time. Buon appetito.